all of it, and his analysis on the issues he has properly researched and how they've changed. I think it's a good reflection moment for the young people, and I'm also glad that this hall is full of young people. When I first entered, I was worried that there will be older people dominating this conversation. So I'm also happy with the choice of his invited guests and all the organizers, and I want to congratulate them. I hope that as the introduction captures, this book will help the young people reflect on a few areas he has chosen, or even go beyond what has changed, because the book analyzes the day-to-day conduct of society. How we behave with each other, how we treat each other as citizens, different competitions, be it economic, political, otherwise, the manipulations, the dishonesty, the posture, the pretense that has dominated society today. And it would be a good moment for the young people to make a departure for us as a country from these bad manners. Because this book captures our bad manners as a nation. How do we make a departure from this character we have created of society? And I hope that will be one of the outcomes of the young people in this room. Coming back to your question on the economic departure needed, we know that the majority of attendees in this room don't know the world before the internet. Their biggest opportunities are with the internet, the digital revolution. The digital revolution, which is at an estimate of $17 trillion economy, I think currently, is estimated to increase 7 times in the next 5 years. The question you should ask is, how are Ugandan youth benefiting from the digital economy? What is our uptake of the digital economy by Uganda's young people? What efforts are being made towards digitalization of Uganda's economy when we are at 26% internet penetration? I saw the recent report released by Twaweza on information, the modes of information and impact on society. The internet is at a mere 2% in terms of impact. We are still at 50% depending on radio communication. That is analog. When you see something trending on social media, you think the whole world has come down. But it's 2% impact. We are here, Canary, we are here. I am 40 plus. Facebook has been closed for 4 years. Who is the most affected person in Uganda? When you call yourselves Gen Zs, where is your world? Because Gen Zs are netizens, citizens on the internet. So where are you placed? Where is your sovereignty in the digital world? If you have platforms, majority of platforms closed, and you are not even demanding. So where do we locate you as netizens of Uganda? Where are you? You can check the percentages on Twitter. It's just going into 17%. It used to be 5% for Uganda. You can go to TikTok. You can look at consumption of internet in Uganda. What are the percentages? So when you say Uganda's Gen Zs are part of the digital world, where do we locate you? WhatsApp, Twitter, the dominant platforms are known and yours is closed, and you are not even bothered. So what do I make of that?
Thank you. Dr. Sally, I want to ask.
We are not short of options on what needs to be done. At the time Uganda launched the Common Man's Charter, Uganda was at the same level with Singapore. But where is Singapore today? Singapore just used the simple method to develop, create social harmony by feeling each other's pain and taking care of that pain to make sure that you don't have citizens who live as the wretched of the earth. In this country, majority citizens are living like the wretched of the earth. A family struggles to buy two pieces of banana, a pair. It is a struggle, and they will make calls just to buy a painkiller. How many families do we have in this level of poverty? And how do we expect to create a nation with disparities, economic disparities of the magnitude of this country? Can we start by enacting policies, deliberate policies, to create an equalizer, minimum equalizer in society, and feel each other's pain, empathy? Then can we go to the incentives, tax incentives? That was the next step for Singapore. Then meritocracy. People have shared here how we network in families, burials, dinners. This is a networking place. We know, yes, your network is your net worth. But what is the procedure of allocating our best resources to serve the common good of the country? Can we streamline that? From there, then, can we look at extra resources we need? Singapore is not a mineral-rich country. They created a conducive environment for investment. I know we have been singing about promoting investment, but we are also a mineral-rich country. So we don't have to just depend on investments. How do we harness local resources to benefit the citizen and develop the country? We talk about 70% stuck in agriculture, and this is, hand home. It is not mechanized agriculture that we are talking about. It is not development agriculture. And the infrastructure that we need, even if these people were stuck in agriculture, how productive is the agriculture? I know we have, things like PDM and the rest, but what will be the impact 5 years from today? So we need to go back to the drawing board and say, this has happened, this is where we are. Can we think as a country? I am a governance expert, but I don't mind even if we suspended politics. Say for 10 years, let's forget politics, let's think on how to develop every citizen, how to develop a country. I wouldn't be bothered. But the question we have of mistrust, of harassment, of manipulation, we cannot even have a conversation that unites us as a nation. Everybody suspects the other. Each group suspects the other. This group is conspiring to fight and eliminate the other. Why should citizens be eliminating each other? Why? How will we ever develop? And these are the details in this book, you need to read it. How shall we get departure from the bad manners in all sectors? There is no, today there has been an election, I know they have one poll to announce the finals. In law society, I'm sure every citizen has seen what has been happening in the campaign for law society. Bang the table, I know, I support bang the table, but do we need to get to that extent of banging tables? No. Yes, I support bang the table, but do we need to bang the tables? Why don't we have a developmental conversation as a country? Why are we increasing things that divide us instead of looking for things that unite us? And we shall not develop until we have this needed conversation as a country.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Ocheno, maybe let me go to John and then Ocheno, you.
This is a governance center of operation. But let me link this, first of all, to a concept of when we talk of a chain and being a consonance. And I've also said that even the 5 continents at one time they broke. How do we explain an apparent stability, especially in a political system for others as long as 38 or 40 years. Now this also makes me twin it up with Sarah's challenge to the youth, the Gen Z, that when Facebook is closed and there's no challenge from the youth, or put it rising. Now, there's no science about this. When a political system stays long in power, it's basically because the people being governed feels that their needs and interests are being met. Otherwise, no amount of tongues, no amount of members can suppress the people. Even at a school level, if you find a school not going on strike, it's not because the headmaster has bewitched them or has gone to a priest. I happen to have gone to Mutare school, and at our time, we used not to have strike. And our colleagues, the National Resistance Kadogos who were in Mbarai school, who would go to strike, would ask us, why is it that you're not going on strike? I said, but we don't see the need. So likewise, in a situation like Uganda, where some leaders promise the people that the man will go, we shall chase him, and he doesn't chase, it's not because there's witchcraft or spirit that has cooled the people, it's because the needs are met. Full stop. And the same thing with the youth and the Facebook. The Facebook was closed at a time, for example, when the Kabaka riot for Nantabas district, Kayunga, happened. Because the Facebook was used at that time, somebody would post on the Facebook that for us who have already started burning the cars in Kawempe, you people in Katwe, what are you still waiting for? And it caused a lot of trouble. But at the same time, how do you meet the needs of the youth? There are other avenues like WhatsApp, like Twitter, like all this. Therefore, somebody does not choose to riot because he is fearing, but because his other needs are addressed somewhere else. Now, on leaders that don't respond, there are mechanisms set in place. First of all, you know that at whatever level of leadership, if you are not responding at the level of a member of parliament, you'll get yourself out. If you don't respond at the level of a minister, there are systems to get you out. Now, if you don't respond at the level of the president, you also get the challenge, because every 5 years you need to go back to the people and ask for their mandate. So the system itself answers out for leadership at all levels who don't respond. Now, other responses are dealt with by the appointing authority, but other responses are dealt with by power to the people. And that is when you are in government, like some of us were in NRM with the mandate from 2021 to 2026. We keep lauding and say, please, there's no magic. Can we meet the needs of the people? Can you listen to the call to the people? That is the only way that the leaders who don't address calls of the people, they get their own punishment. And it excludes all levels of leadership. And that is why, as a party, we are mindful to that, because we know Article 1 of the Constitution says power belongs to the people. At any one time, we will be subjecting ourselves to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes?